He's a military chaplain himself. That was on the House floor earlier this week. Religious groups are outraged that an Army chaplain in Georgia was reportedly punished for sharing his faith during a suicide prevention class. Fox News and commentary host Todd Starnes has been following the story and joins us live. All right, Todd, my understanding was that he was sort of sharing his own personal story about overcoming depression and working through that, and there were some religious components to that.
Well, that's right. You're absolutely correct. The chaplain, Joe Lawhorn, he's based out of Fort Benning in Georgia, and he was leading this mandatory suicide prevention training workshop. And during the course of the workshop, he shared a number of non-religious materials, resources that the Rangers might be able to use should they be suffering from depression. And then he talked about his own personal experiences, his own bouts with depression. Chaplain Lawhorn is also a former Ranger, so he really knows where these guys are coming from, and he wanted to connect with them on a very personal level. And as a result of sharing his personal experiences and how his relationship with God carried him through those bouts of depression, someone complained to a military atheist organization. And as a result of that complaint, the chaplain was summoned back to the military base on Thanksgiving Day, Shannon, where he was given this letter of concern, this reprimand for basically proselytizing. That seems to be what the Army is accusing this chaplain of doing.
Well, and I know that you mentioned some of the materials did have some biblical references or you know, maybe verses or guidance on them. Some of the other materials he handed out were just straightforward, didn't have that. Do you imagine that he's going to be put in a place where he's not going to be able to, as a military chaplain, in certain settings, be able to talk about God, the Bible, his own personal experiences? I mean, what will be the end result here, and how much trouble is a letter of concern to his record?
Well, in the long run, this is not going to be a major blemish on the chaplain's record. However, I think it sends a very troubling message to other chaplains throughout the military. Look, we've already heard the instances of chaplains who've been told they cannot pray in the name of Jesus. I've written about 2 chaplains in San Diego who were kicked out of a chaplaincy program because they refused to stop using the Bible as a reference in counseling. But it's really interesting when you sit back and look at what the military is trying to tell this chaplain at Fort Benning. They're basically saying, look, you may have a soldier who is about to commit suicide. You can do whatever you can to walk this guy back from the ledge, but you can't use the Bible. You can't use anything dealing with religion. Now, we understand, Shannon, that the chaplain has retained legal counsel.